Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us, and happy Friday. President Trump's sweeping global tariffs, well, they sent U.S. stocks tumbling for a second straight day. The markets fared even worse.
Kudlow, I'm Larry Kudlow. So markets crash over 700 points today after a bad inflation report, more tariff confusion. Oh, and by the way, Republicans really going to raise taxes? That could have...
Fox News has been Trump's unshakable shield for years. Every misstep glossed over, every failure spun into a win. That era's over. Even Fox is turning against Trump as the economic wreckage becomes impossible to ignore. On March 15, 2025, as the Dow cratered 850 points, Fox's senior correspondent Peter Doocy dropped a bombshell. We're witnessing a market shock caused by the instability of his administration. This isn't some MSNBC jab, it's Fox News admitting the unvarnished truth. Flash to the White House press room. Trump's spokeswoman Carolyn Leavitt tried to peddle tariffs as a tax cut for Americans. A Fox reporter cut her down. Have you ever paid a tariff? They don't hit foreign countries. They hit us. Leavitt floundered, unable to refute that 98% of tariffs on China are paid by American businesses and consumers, according to the American Enterprise Institute. Import prices have surged 17% since Trump's latest tariff wave, hammering companies and families alike. That's not spin, that's fact. Fox's playbook used to be bulletproof. Blame Hillary, the deep state, or insist tariffs don't drive inflation. Not anymore. Their audience is waking up. The numbers are too stark to dodge. A 34% S&P 500 plunge in 2020, under Trump's watch, $7.8 billion in extra tariff costs to consumers in 2019 per Harvard University, and now core inflation at 5.2% year over year in 2025. Fox even tried claiming Canada caved to Trump's demands. Wrong. Canada's pushing back fiercely, and trade talks are a dumpster fire. More on that later. Social media is blowing the lid off. On X, users are flooding feeds with raw stats. Unemployment at 4.2%, consumer confidence at an 18-month low, grocery bills up 8%. Fox's bias is cracking under the weight of reality. Take their coverage of the Signal app leak, a scandal implicating top brass in a military intelligence breach. Fox can't deflect with deep state excuses when the evidence is this damning. Even their loyal viewers are questioning the narrative. Once Trump's propaganda machine, Fox is now forced to face the music. His policies are tanking, and the proof is everywhere. Let's zoom in on the economic implosion. The Dow Jones plummeted 900 points on March 10, 2025, one of the most devastating trading sessions of the year. The Nasdaq tanked 3.1%, the S&P 500 dropped 2.3%, and billions vanished from retirement accounts and investments in hours. What lit the fuse? A triple threat, a horrific inflation report, Trump's tariff mess, and murmurs of Republican tax hikes. Tech titans like Apple and Tesla took massive hits, stocks down 5.6% and 4.8% respectively, as tariff-driven import costs choked supply chains. Retail giant Walmart issued a stark warning. Prices are climbing, and American shoppers are stuck with the tab. The data's a gut punch. Core inflation soared to 5.2% year over year, with tariffs a key culprit, per the American Enterprise Institute. Import prices? Up 17% since Trump's latest round, crushing businesses trying to stay afloat. The 10-year U.S. Treasury bond yield hit 4.9%, a blaring alarm for recession risks. The Federal Reserve's latest projection is chilling, a 60% chance of a recession by late 2025, up from 40% 6 months ago, pinned squarely on trade policy chaos. Unemployment's at 4.2% nationwide, but rural towns are hemorrhaging jobs faster. Small manufacturers are slashing payrolls to offset tariff costs. Consumer confidence has nosedived to its lowest since October 2023, per the Conference Board. Trump's tariffs were sold as a jobs miracle, bringing work back to America. Instead, they're a wrecking ball. Supply chains are strangling industries. Take steel. Costs are up 20%, forcing construction firms to delay projects and cut workers. Retail's a war zone too. Walmart's price hikes signal broader pain. Electricity's up 12%, foods jumped 8%, Per the Bureau of Labor Statistics, Trump's response? He flaunted his new Tesla, grinning about letting staff drive it while the economy imploded. His team's defense is a sham. Levitt's claim that tariffs aren't taxes collapsed when Fox's own reporter dismantled it. The truth? 98% of those China tariffs hit U.S. wallets, not Beijing's. Companies like Tesla and Apple can't eat these costs. They pass them on, and you pay more. The market's in free fall, and Fox's Peter Doocy said it best. These policies are throwing the market into chaos. Investors are fleeing, dumping tech and finance stocks, betting on a rough ride. This isn't a bump in the road, it's a self-made catastrophe, and the numbers scream it loud and clear. Now let's talk about the people Trump swore to save, his base. In Wood County, West Virginia, where he clinched 70% of the vote in 2024, regret is spreading like wildfire. Federal jobs are dangling in limbo, Medicaid's been gutted, veteran benefits slashed to ribbons, and everyday costs, electricity, groceries, are spiraling out of control. A protester in Pennsylvania put it raw. We voted for America first, but he's delivering billionaires first. Protests are exploding across the country. From Ohio factory towns to Texas suburbs, people are done. Signs accuse Trump of abandoning them. Rural unemployment's outpacing the national 4.6%, with no lifeline in sight. Consumer confidence? It's crashed to its lowest since late 2023, per the conference board. These aren't abstract figures. These are families stretched to breaking, dreams Trump promised now. Dust. The pain's tangible. Electricity prices have surged 12% since 2024. Food costs are up 8%, per the BLS. Veterans, Trump's go-to rally prop, face benefit cuts, while billionaires like Elon Musk pocket tax breaks. In Michigan, a vet told CNN, "I fought for this country, and now I can't afford my meds." The fatigue is crushing. In towns that roared for Trump, you see it on faces, hope replaced by despair. Fox's Larry Kudlow, who once hailed Trump as an economic wizard, now stumbles, pointing fingers at inflation and taxes, anything but his hero. The MAGA faithful are splitting. Protests in swing states like Pennsylvania and West Virginia signal a revolt. Voters who banked on Trump's great economy feel conned. Take Ohio. A steelworker laid off after tariff costs tanked his plant told Reuters he said he'd fight for us. Where is he now? Billionaires thrive while the rest sink. Tax cuts from Trump's tenure still funnel wealth upward, while working-class families drown in rising costs. This isn't just economic fallout. It's a betrayal of trust, and the people he vowed to lift up are the ones getting crushed. If the economy's a disaster, Trump's foreign policy is a global train wreck. J.D. Vance, a Trump diehard, was detained at a Greenland military base in 2025, not for security, but because Greenlanders rejected his soft invasion ploy. Trump's dusted off his 2019 fantasy of annexing Greenland, pushing more troop deployments. The market freaked. The Dow shed 540 points that day, with investors dreading a senseless military escalation amid economic rot. A Greenlander told BBC, "We're not a product for sale." Trump's obsession's backfiring hard. Next up, Canada, our backyard ally. Canada's ditched U.S. energy deals, turning to Europe over Trump's tariff tirades. A January 2025 Abacus data survey dropped a bomb. 44% of Canadians want to join the European Union, a radical break from America's twin. Prime Minister Mark Carney's forging EU ties, trade, defense, diplomacy, snubbing the U.S. Trump's comeback. Canada should be a state. We're subsidizing them $200 billion a year. Zero evidence backs that, but it's poisoned relations. Trade talks are a battlefield, with Canada resisting tariff pressure tooth and nail. China's cashing in, luring nations once loyal to the U.S., think Southeast Asia, Africa, into its orbit. Then there's the Signal app leak, a scandal exposing military intelligence breaches tied to the vice president and top generals. Trump's silence is a neon sign of weakness, amplifying the mess. Allies are bolting, enemies are gaining. The stakes are sky high. Canada's EU pivot could reshape North America, weakening U.S. leverage. Greenland's defiance chips away at our Arctic clout, while China's gains threaten global influence. This isn't leadership, it's a retreat, and the world's watching America falter. So where are we headed? The US is barreling toward a recession, with the Federal Reserve flagging a 60% chance by late 2025. Trump's tariffs, his supposed genius move, are a disaster. Supply chains are crippled, commodity prices are through the roof, and recovery's stalled. His tax cuts for the ultra-rich bloated the deficit, leaving us exposed. Unemployment's at 4.6%, but rural job losses are steeper. Small businesses are axing workers to survive tariff hits. The market's a slaughterhouse. Tech and finance stocks are bleeding. Nasdaq's down 3.1%, Apple and Tesla are reeling. Investors are bailing, shifting to cash or betting on energy and defense to ride out the storm. Inflation's at 5.2%, and without drastic action, wages and jobs could crater further. Trump's answer? We're in a transition period. It'll take time. That weak dodge isn't steadying markets or reassuring voters. Look back, tariffs cost consumers $7.8 billion in 2019 per Harvard, and the S&P 500 tanked 34% in 2020 under Trump. Today's chaos echoes that. Supply chains choked, costs up, confidence gone. Investors are fleeing U.S. markets, eyeing stabler shores like Europe. The Fed might slash rates early to dodge a deeper collapse, but the damage is baked in. Geopolitically, it's a nightmare. Canada's EU flirtation could shift North American power, leaving the U.S. isolated. Greenland's pushback and China's rise erode our global grip. The Biden team's scrambling to counter the chaos, economic and diplomatic, but Trump's legacy looms large. A nation in economic ruin and alliances fractured. This is America on the edge. Tesla was once America's crown jewel, innovation, jobs, a symbol of economic might. Now it's a cautionary tale of how Trump's orbit can torch even the brightest stars. Tesla's global sales crashed 13% in Q1 2025, delivering just 336,681 vehicles, its steepest drop ever, per the London Economic. That's a gut punch to a company that shipped 435,000 cars in Q3 2024. What's behind this nosedive? A ferocious backlash against Elon Musk, tied to his loud support for Trump and far-right politics, is driving customers away in droves. The numbers are brutal. In Europe, Tesla sales plummeted 42% in February 2025 alone, with Germany, a key market, seeing a 52% drop year over year per the London Economic. Why? Musk's antics, pushing Trump's agenda, amplifying divisive rhetoric, have sparked outrage. The Tesla takedown boycott is gaining steam, with X posts showing owners trading in Teslas for rivals like Hyundai's Ioniq 6. In California, trade-ins spiked as buyers ditched the brand, per dealership reports. Arson attacks on Tesla showrooms from Berlin to New York signal a visceral rejection, with vandals spray painting "Musk equals Trump" on walls. Competition's eating Tesla alive too. China's BYD saw revenue soar 60%, overtaking Tesla as the world's top EV seller, per the London Economic. BYD's delivering affordable options like the Seagull, while Tesla's prices climb. Tariffs and supply chain woes, tied to Trump's policies, jack up costs. Tesla's stock has shed 44% since December 2024 peaks, a $350 billion market cap hit, as investors flee a brand tainted by Musk's politics and Trump's economic chaos. Trump's tariffs amplify the pain. Import costs are up 17% since his latest round, per the American Enterprise Institute, squeezing Tesla's margins. Musk warned in January that tariffs would hurt. Now they're a reality, with 98% of China tariffs hitting U.S. firms, not Beijing. Tesla's Shanghai plant, a lifeline for exports, faces higher costs, and Canada's retaliation, more on that next, threatens its North American edge. Sales in Canada could flatline, with rebates gone and tariffs looming. Now shift north. Canada's not just mad, it's fighting back, and Trump's trade war is blowing up in his face. Canada's banned Tesla from its EV rebate program and frozen $30 million in payments, a surgical strike against Trump's tariffs per CNN. Transport Minister Chrystia Freeland dubbed it maximum pressure on the U.S., hitting Tesla, whose Canada exports are 100% American-made, with a 25% tariff wall, as flagged on X. This isn't petty. It's a calculated retaliation to Trump's 25% steel and 10% aluminum tariffs, and it's drawing blood. The stakes are sky high. Canada's slapped $20.5 billion in levies on U.S. exports, targeting swing states like Ohio and Pennsylvania per CNN. Steel towns like Hamilton, Ontario, are cheering. 80 Teslas were vandalized there, tires slashed, as fury at Trump and Musk boils over, per the New York Times. Tesla sales in Canada could drop to zero, analysts warn, without those $5,000 rebates that drove 20% of its 2024 sales there. Freeland's team isn't stopping. Whispers of tariffs on U.S. energy exports could cost billions more, hitting Texas and North Dakota hard. Trump sparked a fire he can't control. Canada-U.S. relations are at their lowest in decades, with Ambassador Kirsten Hillman warning of irreparable harm to North American unity. Trump's response? Canada should be a state. We're subsidizing them $200 billion a year. No evidence supports that nonsense, but it's poisoned diplomacy. Trade talks are a war zone, with Canada refusing to bend and instead wielding tariffs like a sledgehammer.